Hello my good friends, this is Chaos Angel here, also known as Lord of Omni, and I'm back at it again with another flippin' video discussion with you guys. And man, oh man, last week was such a flippin' doozy, let me tell you. We finally flippin' got our first taste for what's to come in the next expansion for Final Fantasy XIV, now revealed to be subtitled as Dawntrail, and my Lord, Heavenly Father, that title speaks to me in so many volumes. I just can't help but find it perfect for what they have in store for us this time around in this new arc after pretty much the Hydaelyn and Zodiac arc. Learning so many things about Tyrell, the people, the locations, our goals, and more. Couple that with the oh so glorious, amazing second look that was the first graphics update, along with the quality of life change to the die system. But right now, that is not what we're here to talk about at the moment. Oh, no. You guys saw the title, so there's really no point in trying to prolong things any further here. Let's go ahead and get to talking about the shirt in question, as well as the new job in essence. Now, I am going to try my literal best to keep this short, as right now this isn't actually all too in-depth of a speculation on my part. After pondering about this for like quite some time since the reveal of the shirt, getting to it, I will say, at first, when it came to my initial thoughts on the shirt, I was fairly stumped, if you asked me. During the stream, I couldn't even remotely gather what in the world it was even hinting at. Many of my viewers tried their hand at guessing on what it could stand for, and good lord, let me tell you, on some of the things that folks have come up online that I've seen on Reddit and YouTube, they're green, so it has to be a green mage. They're turtles, so it has to be Beastmaster, right? They're all named after artists, so it has to be Pictomancer.
What about Geomancer?
What about Geomancer? But no, while these theories could pretty much end up being right in their own way, my take is going in a different direction. Maybe there might be others that came to a similar conclusion as me. Hell, even before I made this video even, and I just don't even know it. Still, I pretty much have two possible ideas on what we could likely see here with this shirt. And I must say, I feel like Yoshi really set us up from the start here. Before he showed us the shirt, he teased us for the longest time by having that damn other shirt on while it was just blistering hot over there in freaking Las Vegas. I swear I don't get why in the world he had two flippin' black shirts. But he went on to reveal the new job roles that we'll be receiving first. Two DPS jobs, one being melee, the other being caster. After that, he finally revealed the shirt in essence and what the theme of the job will be when it's revealed at the EU FanFest. And boy oh boy, this one was a toss-up. This was by far the most far-out shirt theme since the Spider-Man one. And we needed another hint from Yoshi talking about a director's name to even figure that one out. Here, on the other hand, we're going in blind with no further hints to crack this hard shell of a puzzle. So it's just like, after some time thinking about it and discussing it with my viewers on the live stream as well as my Discord mates, one thought did come to mind. And it was from the Dawntrail teaser trailer with Warrior of Light's new job that will pave the way in figuring out this mystery. When first seeing the Warrior of Light, you'd imagine he was a swashbuckling pirate, the way on what I first thought. Unfortunately, all we could see was just what he was wearing and the peculiar sword he was using. No pistol to speak of just yet, but folks definitely came to the conclusion that he might likely be a Corsair, a job from Final Fantasy XI. And I can see it, but at first I wasn't entirely too sold on it. That was until an epiphany came to me. From the shirt to the clues in question with what the Warrior of Light was wearing to the fact that it might likely be Corsair, here's the thing. The shirt. This flipping red herring of all red herrings just might be the most ingenious trick Yoshi P could have done for this puzzle. Because after thinking about it to myself, I just can't help but feel this idea is the case 99.9% on the nose. So much so, I'd be amazed if this doesn't end up actually being the case when the job gets revealed. But getting to the point, this job is most likely a ruse, and that it's basically already hinting the fact that the job is actually a scouting job as the melee DPS. Some may have already came to this conclusion as well, though keep in mind this is just the first stage of figuring out the job itself. But like, just think about it. Yoshi notified us on there being a melee DPS before revealing the shirt. The shirt being of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ninja. Right. Had you first seen this shirt, your first immediate thought would have been ninjas in some way, right? But what if that was the point? What if this was specifically signifying that the job in essence is a scouting job that is supposed to be partnered with ninja? That this whole time the shirt was just a clue for telling us that the next job would be scouting to coincide with ninja. So after thinking about it in that way, it kind of makes a lot of sense to a point that I just can't see it in any other way now. And it was at that point the later pieces that came up started to fit in a little bit more, for me at least. Because now that we know and have the first stage of what this shirt could mean out of the way, we can now move on to the second stage. And I'm gonna try and speed things up a little bit after all that rambling. Sorry, I kept on dragging it along with the suspense. I tend to do that, sue me. But now, this is the part where things get a little bit more complex, I will have to say. However, I will have to add that I'm not going to go too into the mechanics of the job like I did with Reaper, as with that job. I had so many things in mind because it was a job that I wanted for the longest time that I pretty much already had a good idea of what I wanted done for it without putting too much time into thinking on the mechanics and such. But anyway, knowing this job will essentially be the scouting job based on the factors of the ninja and the fact that the turtles themselves fight in melee combat, what else can we consider that this shirt is hinting at? Well, the weapons seem to be the most plausible hint, though I can't say the weapons themselves specifically are the answer here. I would have to say it's more so the idea behind it. What I have in mind is that the job might be something along the lines of a weapon master, something akin to that of Furion, Bartz, or maybe even Vaughn. And I can say that that definitely fits into the whole dexterity aspect of the role, if you ask me. This job could easily be something that uses all kinds of weapons, but primarily uses a short sword as its default. And let me just say, if that was really the case, it would definitely give credence to the Warrior of Light having a blade as well as a pistol of sorts. The strangest thing, however, is the sword, and what a peculiar sword indeed. Its design definitely doesn't strike me as the kind of weapon a Corsair would use. Nothing piratey-like when you look at it. It's very sleek yet intricate, with the forte part of the blade having this black kind of attachment. If that even is an attachment, I can't really tell. It's pretty hard to describe what I'm even looking at here. Though, in my opinion, it looks as though this sword could be something that works similar to that of the Gunbreaker, wherein the weapon could use Aether to be augmented in a way, leading to all kinds of flashy attacks. Just not the explodey kind, if you get what I mean. In some ways, this thought process could lead you to think, could this possibly be something akin to the Rune Knight? Hell, even more so Mystic Knight, now that I think about it. My fellow Discord member Fia spoke of it as such, and when you think about it, the use of spell blades would fit very well with this idea, given the weapon we see here is not your atypical looking sword. Plus, not to mention, Mystic Knight was a job introduced in Final Fantasy V, the very game Bartz is from, which is interesting, to say the least. It seems to me things are lining up a little bit, don't you think? So let's go ahead and quickly review some of what I came up with so far. First, there's the possibility of this being a weapon master job because of the multiple weapons we see on the shirt. Then there's the Warrior of Light's weapon, which doesn't exactly give me the vibes of a pirate-like blade. Even though the gear he is wearing really gives you the feel when you look at it, he definitely has that sort of Corsair look and feel. However, this begs the question, could we actually be looking at a job that could be named as Corsair, or something else entirely? Well, after recently watching a video that had their own take on the mystery job, and even though the direction of their take was radically different from what I'm going with this, I'd say that this might be the other fitting name this job could actually be. Even more so given the premise of what we've seen thus far. And that is, my friends, the Duelist. Yes. After pondering on it, the name actually makes so much sense to me. Like, think back on what in the world the Warrior of Light was doing inside of the trailer. The fight he was having with the leader of the Mamul Jah, Gulu Jaja, and the thing that they have stated the Scions are currently participating in, a contest to determine, I guess, the next ruler in a right of succession. Wouldn't that mean that what we're seeing here in and of itself is actually a duel? Then again, this is all speculatory. Of course, much of this could all still be pretty far-fetched, but I must say, it's baffling how much this makes sense, so much sense to me, to be honest, which is how I've been feeling about this topic when it came to it. After thinking about it, I was certainly sold on the idea of this job being called Corsair, but mechanically different as being a weapon master. But what if they did go in another direction and called it a duelist instead, with the same premise as the former? Either or works for me, and I feel Duelist actually fits much more in comparison in terms of naming sense, given what we see here. It just feels right to me. But now, after realizing this whole idea on it possibly being Duelist, I just can't help but see that more than anything else. Especially if you were to couple it with the whole Mystic / Rune Knight idea with the whole Spellblade shtick. I'd actually see it more so if that was the case. A weapon mastering Spellblade. I will not lie. That actually sounds pretty sick as a melee, especially as a scouting job, and would complement the ninja in my opinion. I will not lie, it would definitely be pretty fitting for a partner in the scouting role with ninja, definitely more so. Sure enough, there was the whole thing with the pirates versus ninja theory that I saw online. I didn't really add that into the list of possible stuff that people came up before coming to this conclusion. And to be honest, I wouldn't even object to that theory at all. Actually, I would welcome it. Just that right now, I'm pretty much sold on this current idea that I have sitting at my lap at the moment. And now it's just making me all the more hype for the reveal. Because I'll say this now, this job is definitely going to be revealed in the next extended teaser trailer during the EU Fan Fest. You can at least count on that. I can definitely see the Warrior of Light discarding his flame cloak to then reveal his true abilities in full, showing us just what kind of job he's picked up this time around. And wouldn't you think a weapon master kind of job would just make so much sense given how far he's come? I just can't picture anything else. It just feels like it makes so much sense. Like, I feel that this is a serious possibility for a poster job. But all in all, other than that, I'm just going to end it on the fact that they could essentially take this in any angle they like to suit their means. Just like with what they did with Dark Knight and the Sage, the jobs, weapons, and ideology doesn't have to be the same as what the previous iterations were like. They could make something original in the long run and plaster the name of an existing job to give it a new coat of paint. We could end up actually getting a job named Corsair, and it can be completely different from what I've speculated as well as other folks. Or it could end up being something entirely different altogether with an original name, and so on. One thing is for sure though, this shirt is definitely hinting more on the reveal of the job being the next scouting job, coinciding with Ninja. That in and of itself, I am not going to be shaking on, because it just makes too much sense given the theme that we're seeing here. But that is just my take on it. How about you? Tell me what you had in mind since the reveal, or whether or not if your thoughts have changed entirely to something new like mine did. What did you think about what I came up with? And did you come to a similar conclusion as me? Or did you possibly find something different in mind? Everything and anything that you have to discuss in relation to this subject, let me know in the comments, because good God, we have quite a good deal of time to let this topic marinate a bit before the actual reveal takes place. So you never know. Maybe in some interview, Yoshi will possibly give us a hint at someone being close to the answer. We'll just have to wait and see. But besides that, that's pretty much all that I have at this point. I really tried my best in order to make this video short, but there was just so many things that popped into my mind that I wanted to add and just ended up rambling in the end. Oh well. Still, I hope you all enjoyed all of my ramblings and might even have found some of my theories to be spot on, or hell, probably even found them dead wrong. Either way, there's much to discuss when it comes to this topic, so I hope to see you all down in the comments letting me know what your thoughts are. With that, I leave you guys to it. You guys have a very nice day, nice night, nice morning, nice afternoon, all that good nonsense, and I shall catch you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.